This guy found a gigantic robotic dog and tried to make friends with him. Find out if it's possible to tame an iron dog from this recap of the movie Axel. Of all the animals in the world, the most intelligent and reliable are dogs, which is why the military has been trying to create a robotic dog for years. And now, the Crane Systems scientists developed a fighting dog made of metal and call it Axel. There are 3 words hidden behind his name: attack, exploration, and logistics. What's more, Axel is able to act like a real dog. In the next scene, we see a motorcycle racing championship. The racers are demonstrating different tricks, but one of them, Miles Hill, suddenly falls off his motorcycle. It turns out that his chain broke and he can't continue the competition. And all this happened just before the finish line. What a shame. Miles is very angry and looks with envy at the other riders, especially Sam Fontaine, the winner of this round. Some girl next to him is doing pretty drawings in her notebook. Miles and his father approach Fontaine and ask to borrow a spare chain, but the guy gets rejected, which means he can't compete in the championship's final. Suddenly, the girl with the notebook comes up to him and hands him a motorcycle chain. Miles grabs a wrench and gets to work. A few minutes later, they start the final race. 2 riders put on their gear and start their engines. The girl smiles at Miles. He and the other racers step on the gas and rush forward. They have to take a challenging route, but Miles catches up with him on the dangerous section of the road and pulls ahead. He gets first to the finish line and wins the race. Fontaine is very disappointed. His friend suggests that Miles goes to a party with them, and the boy promises to think about it. His father advises him to go, so he can be friends with Fontaine, for he is the son of a rich, influential parent. At night, at the military technology company Crane Systems, the workers hear an alarm ringing. The fact is that the robotic dog they created escaped from the lab. The employees throw all their energy into searching for him. The robotic dog, meanwhile, is heading towards the city. At the same time, Miles arrives at the rich Sam Fontaine's party. Fun is in full swing there, with motorcycle races performing elaborate stunts and beautiful girls bathing in the pool. Miles is met by Fontaine, who first tries to poach him into joining his team, and then brags that he will definitely win the next season. This guy even sets his own car on fire to show how serious his intentions are. Miles takes advantage of the moment to get away from the insane Fontaine, and finds a warehouse of the fanciest and most expensive motorcycle in his garage. He gets on one of them, and that's when the paintress from the race shows up. Her name is Sarah, and she and her mother turn out to be maids for Sam's parents' house. Miles compliments her and thanks her for the chain, and the girl smiles sweetly. The boy decides to join the epicenter of fun. The day after the party, Miles works in the garage with his father, suffering from a hangover. He says that racing is his meaning of life. In the meantime, the Crane employees are launching hundreds of drones to find the robotic dog, but they have no success. The company's agents hide the truth from the US government and lie that the robotic dog is in place and ready for presentation. Sam and his friends arrive at Miles' house. The guy asks his new friends to ride the motorcycles and film their stunts. The guy does a great job despite his hangover. Sam distracts Miles by talking while his friends fill his motorcycle engine with soda. Miles starts the engine and does a few more tricks. He speeds up and takes off, but then his bike stalls and the guy falls on the ground. Sam and his buddies film the whole thing, laugh, and drive away without even checking on Miles' condition. The guy takes off his helmet and realizes he's been set up. Luckily, he only hurt his neck a little and Sam left him a can of gasoline. He drains the purple soda from the engine and fills it with normal fuel. The bike doesn't start though. Miles sees some abandoned buildings nearby and decides to check them out. He hears a suspicious noise coming from the garage and throws a rock at it. The guy looks inside and finds a robotic dog hiding there. Miles gets scared and runs to the motorcycle. Our hero manages to start it and drive away from the dangerous place. But the robotic dog is chasing him because the motorcycle contains fuel that he himself needs. He jumps on Miles, but he manages to dodge. The robo-dog almost catches up with the guy, and he decides to perform a tricky stunt to escape the chase. The robo-dog, flying after the motorcycle, falls to the ground and sustains damage, after which he is unable to get up. Miles approaches him, and the robo-dog triggers a self-destruct mechanism, as his body is badly damaged. The guy removes his motorcycle helmet and strokes the poo dog's face. He no longer thinks Miles is a threat and cancels the self-destruct sequence. The guy pulls out a piece of rebar stuck in the dog's body, and then the dog begins to trust the man. The dog sends recovery instructions to Miles's phone, from which the guy also learns his name, Axel. Miles drags the robotic dog into his garage and begins to fix it. Meanwhile, Sam and his friends are watching a video of Miles's accident and laugh merrily. Sarah notices this and gets seriously worried because Miles is not answering her calls. The girl demands that Sam shows her the place where they performed the stunt. Miles successfully fixes Axel thanks to the instructions he sent. The dog asks the guy for fuel, and he fuels his new friend. The joyful Axel sniffs around Miles and reads the information from his helmet. It was equipped with a camera, so the robo-dog watches the video and hears the phrase, "Yo, send it," said by the guy, then repeats it. Miles tells Axel that they are now friends and should trust each other, and removes the dog's muzzle. Axel gets fun and now wants to play, just like a real dog. Together with Miles, they head to an abandoned property, play and perform various tricks. Satisfied, Miles and Axel start howling merrily, but suddenly they notice crane system drones appearing from above. They have found their robot. One of the developers wants to disable the dog, but Axel's creator forbids it, because he wants to better test his creation. He connects to Axel's camera to see what he sees. We see a car appearing in an abandoned area. It turns out to be Sarah's car. She's looking for Miles. The robo-dog decides to seize her car and jumps on the back. The girl hysterically tries to start the car, but Miles is rushing to them and asks Axel to calm down. A frightened Sarah gets out of the car, and the guy introduces her to his new iron friend. The girl even finds the courage to pet him. Now they all have fun together. The night comes, and Sarah tells Miles he should find Axel's owner and return the dog to him. But Miles disagrees. The thing is, Axel has bullet holes on the body, which means those who kept him didn't really love him, which is why he ran away. While Miles and Sarah spend time together telling each other different stories, Axel decides to cheer them up. He turns on the music on Sarah's phone, amplifies its sound through his body, and even activates the light music effects. The girl dances with Miles. The dog really likes it. Axel's creator and his assistant are watching what's going on through the computer systems. They see that Axel is developing rapidly in the company of humans. As Sarah falls asleep, Miles tells Axel that he likes her. The robotic dog utters the phrase, "Yo, send it," advising the guy to be more determined. In the morning, with Axel's help, they manage to pull Sarah's stranded car out. The dog jumps on the trunk and they head back to the town. At the gas station, they hide Axel under a dirty sheet, but the robotic dog sticks his face out, hacks into a terminal and pays for the gasoline. What's more, the terminal gives Miles a whole wad of money. Now they are very rich. Sarah's mother is worried about her daughter because she hasn't been home all night. Sam shows her how to find the person using her phone. It turns out that her daughter is at some abandoned place. Sarah and Miles are there to train Axel. Also, there the girl shows her paintings on the walls and the dog lights them up beautifully. He projects a hologram on the wall where the scientists tell the entire story of Axel's creation. It turns out that he is equipped with advanced weapons and is also capable of pairing with one person and serving him for life. Axel gives Miles a key that reads the guy's DNA, after which he becomes the dog's admin. The scientists are furious because now their dog is forever linked to the guy. Suddenly, they see an ATV on the road. It turns out to be Sam. He hurts the girl and grabs her arm. Miles shows up and Sam tries to hit him, but at that moment, Axel jumps on him. Miles asks Axel to drag Sam to him and orders the guy to get away. The robo-dog enters into his database information that this man is not to be harmed. Miles and Sarah argue over Axel's behavior and decide to go to Miles's father to ask him for advice. The father thinks the dog should be returned to the government. While they argue, the robo-dog is waiting for them at that very spot. At night, Sam and his friends come to that place again. They turn on the camera and start looking for Axel. Once they find the dog, they trap him and set him on fire with a flamethrower. Miles and Sarah return to find the dog critically damaged. However, he manages to transmit instructions for his repair to Miles's phone. Axel is loaded into the back of Sarah's car and taken to the building to which the dog led them. At this time, a crane employee comes to Miles's house and searches it. The boy's father grabs his sports bow and takes the uninvited guest hostage. Miles and Sarah successfully fix Axel. His sensors light up, and it shows that in a few hours his systems will be fully restored. Miles and Sarah start kissing. When Axel appears online, the Crane agents go looking for him. They find a dog, but the guy manages to hide. Axel turns on and lunges at one of the agents. The second man uses his weapons, but Miles knocks him down and Axel escapes. He rushes to Sam to get back at him. Miles and Sarah rush after the dog. Sam has another party at his house, and Axel appears among the guests. All the guys start panicking. Sam tries to run away, but the robotic dog catches up with him. The guy hides under a car, but that doesn't help him either. Miles and Sarah arrive at Sam's house on their motorcycle and see Sam trying to defend himself against Axel with a flamethrower. But it runs out of fuel, and the dog prepares to attack. Miles asks his iron friend not to do this. At this point, he gets surrounded by a host of drones. With their help, Axel gets immobilized. Crane's agents show up, grab the robotic dog, and take Miles and Sarah along with them. They are taken to Crane's offices and tied up. Miles is demanded to give back the control key Axel gave him, but the guy doesn't have it, because he forgot it at home. The guy is blackmailed by threatening Sarah. Thanks to the girl's familiar movements, the dog gets his memory back. He frees himself and all three try to escape. Miles steals a motorcycle and escapes with Axel, while Sarah distracts the military and surrenders herself. The military goes after them in pursuit. On a dangerous section of the trail, Miles falls off a cliff on his motorcycle and breaks his arm. Axel doesn't want to leave without his owner, but he doesn't want to surrender to the military either. Having escaped to a safe distance, the robotic dog activates a self-destruct mode. Looking at Miles, he utters the phrase, "Yo, send it," then growls at the military helicopter and explodes. The military runs to the wounded Miles. Some time passes. The military helps Miles and Sarah get into college, but they do it not without personal interest. The fact is that Axel's creator knows some information about the secret robotic dog's code, but doesn't want to share it, and the military is now following Miles and Sarah, hoping to get valuable information. By the way, our heroes got themselves a cute puppy. The boy receives a letter from his father. In the envelope is the very key that controls Axel. They try to make a connection with the robotic dog, and they succeed. Maybe he'll even come back to them someday. I wish I had an iron friend like this when I was a kid. He would bite anyone who hurt me. You've been watching the Movie Cat channel. See ya!